Hey guys, so as requested, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Now, most of this information came through anyway, okay? As in channeled information. But I will pull some cards to the final question, which is about how do they feel about each other now? Maybe. Let's just see how it goes because sometimes if it goes into channeled and then you go into tarot, the energies are different and it's off and it doesn't always work out. So let's just see how it goes. And we will pull some cards and see if it makes sense, okay? Right. First question I had was, let's pull a card anyway, guys, so you have something to look at. Right, let's see what energy we have for this. Oh, great card, to be honest, because it's the Two of Swords, which means pretty much everyone's asking about their divorce. It was a really difficult decision, but it was well thought out, I'm hearing. Straight away, I'm hearing people in his ear, and I do feel this is Scientology. It played a massive factor in it. So first of all, what made her stay in the relationship? So what came through was he was incredibly charismatic. He was a risk taker. So pretty much like the roles you get in his films, he would sweep you off your feet and you would never know what's coming next. He would also work a room like no other and charm everyone. So he could connect to people from all walks of life. And he did have a humbleness about him when he met other people too. As in, he could just be very humble and connect to anybody. And that's what she really liked. He would take an interest in anyone's life, no matter if they're a bloody billionaire or politician or somebody that's just really humble like the next door neighbour. He generally took an interest in people, and that's what really made people warm to him back then. He also made massive shows of his love to her throughout their relationship, because I think they were together for about 10, 11 years, and he could still knock her off her feet years later. So sometimes, guys, I have not been married, so I can't really say too much here, okay? But I do know, from long-term marriages like my parents and other marriages I know of, that maybe after, say, 10 years, it could be very hard for your partner to suddenly surprise you and really put the effort in there, whereas it was consistent with him. So it wouldn't just be on special occasions like her birthdays or anniversaries. He would do something completely surprising. I do get randomly, because this plane was in Top Gun. I'm not saying it's a Top Gun plane. There was like a plane, not a jet plane, guys. Crap, I can't remember the bloody word for it, but there'd be kind of like a Tiger Moth style, where he would just, I don't know, but I think he may have had his own plane back then, way back in the 80s, 90s, and he was flying. But this is almost like a Tiger Moth, like, those really vintage old planes, and he would literally just fly in and take us somewhere, even if it wasn't a birthday, Christmas, anything like that. So he had the ability to shock as well, which also kept you on her toes. And in a way, I am getting this energy through, which is kind of controlling, as in if she did well and played the part of the wife, then I'm doing that there, by the way. Look at that. As in played the part of the wife, I'm hearing, then everything would go well for her. But if she was not subordinate, oh my God, hold on a minute, guys. I'm trying to get through something here. Let me just pronounce it correctly. So if she wasn't subordinate, which means basically under his control, and she was like trying to push his boundaries and what he expected of her, then it's almost like he would kind of punish her emotionally, not physically or anything like that. I'm hearing the cold shoulder. So she didn't really want to really annoy him as such, because it was almost like a roller coaster ride, and the highs are the highest that it could ever be. So she didn't really want to go out of her way to really upset him. I'm hearing challenge him. She had issues with challenging him. Okay? There were issues with challenging him, because if she challenged him and she didn't get her own way, or she didn't feel like she was being taken seriously enough, it's almost like he could talk around, because he did genuinely love her, care for her, and do so much for her. So it's almost like that balance thing where you think, well, someone doesn't really care about what I want, but at the same time, they adore me, they love me, they take me out for expensive meals, and they treat me like an absolute princess, and I know they adore me, but I want to be taken seriously as an actress, and I want my voice to be heard more. Randomly, I'm getting some projects she did in filming about human rights and women's rights in particular. This is so random, guys. This is all coming out now. You know the O.J. Simpson thing that happened, Nicole Brown Simpson, around that time, about her speaking out about women's rights in Hollywood, and he didn't want her to rock the boat. opening up a can of worms. So I think some projects like that he tried to talk her out of. I'm hearing career suicide. So he thought it was career suicide, but she was more humanitarian in that respect, that she wanted to be heard more, and that's what wasn't working. So that's what's coming out now. Now let's go back to what ultimately broke them up. Now, pretty much, guys, I did get Scientology was the main reason. There was also an issue with starting the family and having their own biological children, which brought up issues as well. So I feel that later on, they also wanted a sibling for their two adoptive children and someone to carry on his legacy, were the words I heard. So his legacy. So he sees his adoptive children as his kids, but he still wanted somebody, oh my God, this sounds so egotistical, in the image of him, I'm seeing someone in his image, okay? So he still wanted that. And that's where problems came up near the end of the marriage around, sorry guys, I've got really bad hay fever again. So more issues around the end of the marriage around this subject, okay? Around her trying to get pregnant again, and there were issues and she felt under pressure, and especially around the Scientology issues as well. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, does he regret the split? Why did they not have children together? Because they ended up having kids with future spouses. He does not regret the split. He does not regret the split. I did not get that energy at all that he regrets it, okay? He feels they were together and played a part they needed to. So Scientology aside, he was very spiritual, and he believed almost like, kind of like me, that people come into your lives at certain times to almost like a soul contract thing. I'm not saying he believed in soul contracts as such, but he believed everything happens for a reason, okay? And it was meant to be that way at that time, and then after it wasn't, pretty much. And also it's a mixture of that and Scientology. So that's why he's not really have regrets, because he believed this is how it was meant to be. Now, when it comes to the kids, if it's not in their soul contract to have biological kids together, okay, if it's not in the soul contracts, then usually it's not going to happen. Now, I know we have free will and things like that, but usually when we come down, if there's something in my life that I'm meant to do, if I'm meant to marry a certain person, like I said, guys, I have free will to say no, but in general, some things are almost like written in kind of like stone, is in when it comes to a soul contract and what they were meant to do together, okay? So part of it, I feel, is the soul contract. And also the other part of it is when it comes to biological children, a miscarriage and something high risk as well. So it's almost like something really terrible experience happened to her trying to conceive, and then near the end of the marriage they were trying again, and it brought back lots of fears, and almost like I'm keep hearing an image of himself. He wants an image of himself as in a child that looks the image of him, that she felt under pressure to do that, knowing that there was risks again. So it was a combination of things, but I still think it's due to the biological children, because he had Suri, didn't he, in the next marriage with Katie Holmes, but also Scientology as well. So let's see what else. Also, she did try, but there were issues with filming as well and deadlines of film. And it's almost like she wished he had made more time for it, and more time for the healing and the grieving when it didn't work out. She felt like in that respect, he kind of wasn't really there like he should be, because he was upset as well. But it's almost like she wished he was there more. And then it's almost like the whole relationship was, when you have those, well, I'm really hurting and I need him to be here for me right now, and he's gone off to do a film or whatever. It's almost like, but then he'd sweep her off her feet all over again and say, oh, most beautiful, loving woman ever. I love you so much. So again, it's that roller coaster ride, guys, that when you talk yourself out thinking, oh, I'm not sure about this relationship, I want more support from him. And the other time he comes through and it's 10 out of 10. So it's kind of that energy. Overall, though, I do feel he did generally really, really love her, okay? And I do feel she loved him. I'm hearing infatuated, by the way, from her, interesting love, her infatuated with him, which is interesting, because I never really saw that about her, but that's what I'm getting. Okay, did he turn the kids against Nicole due to his religious beliefs? Now, it was not so much that he turned them against her as such, but it's really well known in Scientology, guys. I've read so many books about this as well, people that have left Scientology. I'm going to be careful what I say here, by the way. I'm not going to say too much on this subject, okay? that you have heard, okay, they're not allowed to see them family members if they leave, okay? That's what you hear in these books, okay? Just putting it out there, that's what I heard. So if anything, it's more like the kids were resentful at the time that she did not choose them, because by her almost like leaving Scientology, she was leaving her kids behind, and she would have known that. She would have known the consequences. So on the kids' side of things, it's almost like she chose to leave the religion, because even if Nicole and him divorced, if she had stayed in the religion, she may have had a chance to see her children, but she chose to leave. Because fair enough, it's like, guys, come on. Scientology, yeah, I can see why she wanted to get out, put it that way. But at the same time, it's almost like it was played that, well, your mum left you because she could have stayed, but she left you, you know? So it's almost like that got put into their heads, and that's why she didn't see him for a long time. So it's almost like that kind of resentment that you didn't stay for us. So from the kids' point of view, it was seen as differently back then. I do hear now they're a bit more awake. Now, I know they're still in Scientology, but I still hear they're a bit more awake about the situation now. Okay, what did she think of Scientology? All this reading is alleged, by the way. I'm not saying it's, I've just got to say that, guys, honestly, to protect myself here. She did see it as a cult that would tear families apart. So if you don't walk the line. Now, I kept hearing Walk the Line Johnny Cash song here. If you didn't walk the line, then you were targeted, okay? So with Nicole Kidman, this is so random because Johnny Cash, I kept hearing Walk the Line. I feel that song would come on the radio at times. And when she was going through a hard time, it was almost like, you got to walk the line, and it would really have an impact on her and make her think. It was just something about that song. You have to walk the line. Right. Was there an imbalance in power in their relationship? Was Tom controlling? Yes, he was, but mainly when it came to PR and what she would wear, because he reveled in the whole Hollywood power couple thing. But he also was very supportive of her career in one aspect. So he tried to help her the best he could so she could succeed. So in one aspect of it, he was very, very supportive and really wanted her to do well, reading her lines of her, telling her how to act or how to play a certain role as such, in the film. So he was very, 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 very supportive there. And it was like from one actor to another, not from a husband to a wife. So he really did try and support her there. But on the same side, guys, like on the other side of it, the more negative side is she still represented him. So he also wanted to make sure she made good film choices, or it would reflect on him. As the Hollywood blockbuster movie star, he doesn't want her to have like something that's just going to completely, it's an absolute dismal at the box office and it does terribly. He doesn't want her to get any duds. So at the same time, he still wanted her to be very conscious. I'm hearing represent again that her choices represented them as a power couple. Okay. Right. Was it a mutual breakup? So I don't think it was, as in it knocked the wind out of her and she was really shocked. And even though she knew she was losing the connection with him and she was backing off from him, she did not think he would break up the family unit because he was a great dad. Now, I know what's gone on with Suri and what he's done to do with his, religious beliefs and everything like that. I don't even know if Scientology is a religion, guys. I'm saying all this. I think it is. You let me know, okay? I need to Google it. I read so many bloody books on it and I can't think right now because I'm trying to tune in. He was an incredible dad. He is an incredible dad, like to his kids and everything. But again, it's almost like if they toe that line. Because again, Scientology, look into it yourselves, you'll see that once you leave, they're not going to let you see your kids or your family. It's well known. You need to look into it yourself. There's a whole rabbit hole you can go down there. Right. Now, let's see what else we've got. And again, I've got here, anyone that did not go along with the church's beliefs were a threat. So yes, religion played a huge part in his choice here, just as it did with Katie Holmes when she wasn't towing the line either. Right. Not sure how tarot's going to work now, guys, because I've been doing channeling and now I'm going to do tarot. But is Nicole somewhat in love with Tom Cruise? I've heard pass. Pass. So for me, no. It's almost like when you have great memories of somebody and what they did for you. And remember that time we did that, we got a hot air balloon out and had champagne. It's almost like those incredible memories she has, but not overall. It kind of like pleased to be rid of him. you know, because she has a freedom now that she didn't when she was with him. But let's just see. Does she still have any feelings for him? I mean, it's not the best. Well, that's definitely him coming up. Ooh, a bit fiery, guys. Now, I'm not sure what their sex life was like, but we do have the lovers here. So there was definitely a really good sex life and good chemistry. So on that side, they had it going on. They had it going on there. So that's one aspect of it, yes, okay. But she still sees him also as somebody that's a very highly intelligent guy. Highly intelligent guy. Somebody that's a complete free spirit. You never know what's coming next. But at the same side, you've got the hermit coming in, which almost means like when she feels those feelings of, she has sadness over what they had together, the hermit comes in, which means her reflecting on, she's pleased to get out. She's pleased to get out. And when I mean pleased to get out, I don't mean the marriage with him. I mean with the whole Scientology thing and separating herself. So it's sadness on both sides. Because look, just as I mentioned Scientology, just pulled the 5 of Wands, which means lots of arguments and confrontation going on behind the scenes around them. All these people getting themselves involved in their marriage. So she was really aware of that. So the sadness over that part of it is in missing him. Look, guys, the Tower. All this drama going on behind the scenes with people having a word with it in his ear, and then it came crashing down. So it's almost like, yes, she does miss the charismatic guy. She does miss the free spirit that she never knows what's going to happen next. We got the lovers. They had a great sex life. But then on the other side of it, she has to come back to earth, I'm hearing. Come back to earth, reflect on the difficulties they really had there. But overall, the Emperor does mean stability. It does mean stability and somebody grounded. And I suppose that reflects they had a marriage for like 10, 11 years. So yeah, there's sadness there. There's sadness, for sure. For sure. And that is it, guys. That is the reading. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will do another one soon. Lots of love, guys. Bye.